The weekend after I bought my first car, I drove it to my friends. And most of their reactions were, "What, Gary? You just bought a Toyota Vios?" I responded like a loser and said, yeah, I don't need two Vios." A very good evening to all.
Good evening.
It's great to see a lot of young faces this evening because tonight I'll be delivering an Uncle Talk. 1.5 years ago, I joined the workforce and I bought my first car. It wasn't an expensive, nice, fancy car like what my peers have. I bought a very cheap, a car that's so common in Brunei roads that if you take a photo of the Brunei road, print out a photo, put it in your bedroom wall, and start counting the Vios, you will fall asleep. My friends and relatives has questioned on my decision of buying such a car. They told me that I should have bought a more expensive car, considering that I earned a decent pay. My parents were also convincing me to buy an expensive car because they believed that an expensive car would last longer. They even went through the extent of gathering catalogs, presenting them in front of my face, telling me the relationship between the price of the car and the number of girlfriends you will get. But I got angry. I stood up and I swept away all the catalogs away from the table and I said, I am a man now. I want to decide for my own. A bit dramatic. I didn't put it that way. I didn't sweep off the catalogs. But what I did was I made a decision on my own. That is real. And today, I made a decision. And today in this speech, I'll be sharing with you the reasons why I did it and why you shouldn't. And for those who have already owned cars, why you should advise the younger people to not get an expensive first car. And by expensive, I mean about 35,000 and above. Yeah? Reason number one, expensive cars are expensive. Cars are not things that is like a few $100s. It costs you tens of thousands of dollars. And for you to repay them all, to actually own the car, it may take many years of your savings. It is actually that dangerous. And at this very early stage of your career, usually when you own a car, it's at your very early stage of your career, you wouldn't earn enough to cash out the car. You would most likely go for a loan. And as you know, loans are very dangerous. They take away a lot of your freedom. What I mean by freedom here is, at this tender age of 26, I've got friends telling me that, oh, I hate my job, but I cannot leave it because I'm locked up by this car loan. I cannot afford to quit my job. I've got friends telling me that I can't afford to go and travel and explore the world because my car loans take up a lot of my paycheck. I've got friends telling me I cannot buy the things I want because I don't have much left after settling my loans. Think about it. Put yourself in that situation, young people. Do you want to be in that situation where you lose the opportunity of having what you want and doing what you want, all because you spent your money on an expensive liability? Think about it. My second reason is you cannot afford one. Let's be straight about this. You think you can afford one, but you actually don't. You may only think that you can afford because you only think about the monthly loan installments. But many people overlook the other expenses of owning a car. For example, insurance, petrol, maintenance, changing your tires, and the list goes on. And these are the few things that people often overlook and not take into consideration when they buy a new car. Let me put things into perspective. Let's take insurance, something that is compulsory, as an example. A $25,000 car, for first year, a rough estimate of the insurance you will have to pay is about $800. $50,000, double the car price, you'll be paying about $1,500 on insurance. And take note, insurance is just something you pay for coverage. You don't get anything tangible in return. And $75,000, you'll be paying about $2,200 worth of insurance. And that is already a month's worth of salary. Think about it, you work a year long, only to find out that 1 month of your salary goes to insurance. My third point is a car is never an investment. People always mistaken that cars are an asset, but in fact, cars are a liability. I'm pretty sure at this point in time, you've heard people saying that I buy cars for the benefit of the long term. What benefit? Cars depreciate as much as 25% on its very first year. And I'm also sure that you've heard people say that I buy a nicer, more expensive car because so that I don't have to buy another car in the future. Are you really sure? Car loans are made to have a max of 7 years loan period. For the reason, I heard it from a car salesperson, a friend of mine. The reason why car loans are 7 years is because a general observation is that people will buy a new car every 7 to 10 years. And car manufacturers work around the time frame of 5 to 10 years to come up with a new model. So will you be able to resist the temptation of getting a new car? Let's be realistic. Cars are never for the long term. They are never an investment. So ladies and gentlemen, there you have it, my 3 reasons of how I convinced myself and my friends, how I reasoned with them to not buy an expensive car. Ultimately, at the end of the day, buying a car is just to get you from point A to point B, not to give you more financial burden. After 1.5 years of owning this car, I believe I've made the right decision. So now the question goes back to you. If you were to buy a car one day, do you still want to go for the expensive one? Back to you.